There we go.
Hello, everybody. I think we're live on Facebook. I'm not sure. I hope we are. We are so excited about today's show because Kelly Sullivan Walden and I are going to talk about some dreams, but we're also going to talk about relationships. And we have people who have written into us and asked us questions. And so we're going to do the best we can to get after it. Kelly, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. I wonder if we're doing, if
Now
this is
we're
like,
live on Facebook.
now
There
we're
we
live.
go.
Hey.
I just did a dry run of a hello and none of y'all were there. And so here we are
Or so
live
we
on
think.
Facebook. And we're happy to see you guys. I'm Nancy Telsero and with me is Kelly Sullivan Walden, and we wanted to talk to you today about some dreams and about some, let me turn the volume off on my phone or that's just wildly wrong.
I wonder if we're actually.
And we are live, yeah. I just got a notice on Facebook that says we're live.
Okay,
And
we're live.
So if I share that.
Why do we always not know if we're live or not?
Well, I usually know, but I think it shows for me sooner than it shows for you, and that's why
I think
you
that's
don't
true. Okay.
know.
This
But now
always start with me going,
are we really live?
help me, Lord.
I'm going to share this on my wall there so that now I know. And if anybody happens to talk to us, then we can, be all happy that they were talking to us and we can respond. How about that in live? Because the last time we weren't responding, and I think people get sad when we don't respond.
Right.
So I'm just, excuse my face going away. There we go.
Excuse my face.
Excuse my face.
Okay.
I was wanting to talk about those bars that we received before we launch into the dreams and the relationships, and you got one.
Oh, thank you, Denise Hoover. She says that she sees us, and Matthew Walden says we're live. Okay. We're a little slow on the uptake, but we've got some good stuff for you today. So yay. We've got some crazy dreams and a couple crazy relationship questions / issues to deal with that people have sent us. So where shall we start? And by the way, everyone say hello to Daniela Granados or Granados. I think I have to think Spanish to say it right. She's our producer and she's going to be helping us behind the scenes. So if you get a little, like or question or something from Daniela, give her a cyber hug and respond to her questions or something. Okay. So also while we're going to talk about dreams, we're going to talk about some relationship issues because there's a relationship between dreams and relationships in our waking dream because we're always dreaming, but we're also open to be in relationship with y'all. So if you have a question about dreams, relationship issues, what have you, bring them. Don't be shy. Bring them. Okay. Yeah. So where do we want to start, Nancy?
I just want to talk about the bar really fast because I promised Jennifer, who is a wonderful Beachbody coach that is on Facebook, and she's got 2 cute little babies, and she sent us these bars. Now, you got one and I got one. Tell me about yours.
So I had a house guest. I always have house guests. Our house has just been like Grand Central, even though we live way out in the woods. You'd think that nobody would ever come.
Everybody comes.
We have so many guests, and they show up and eat the things in our refrigerator. So, yeah.
So you heard it was really good, right?
I heard it was delicious. Oh, I'm trying to fix the thing that has us be side by side. I don't know how to do that.
It's okay. We're just
Daniela, if you know how to do it.
We'll move it along. I'm gonna test this one out though, so that you can see live the actual response. Mine, the flavor is chocolate cherry almond.
Ooh.
Doesn't that sound good?
That sounds delicious.
And I'm a person that likes these bars. Everybody else goes,
you're gonna make me hungry.
I'm sorry. I'm just gonna take one little bite, I think. Unless I really like it, then I'll be chewing through the whole show.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. You know what's crazy?
Ooh.
This is supposed to be one of those bars that's like a good little nutrition boost or whatever. I think it's through beach. But
oh my God.
It's so good.
Is it?
It doesn't taste like sometimes the bars are kind of chalky or dry.
Wait, put it way up into the camera so we can see it.
It's like
way up. Nancy, you're muted.
I'm muted?
Oh no, now you're not.
I think I just wasn't talking.
Oh, you were eating.
You said put it up to the camera, and I was like, good girl, yes.
No, put your bar like up there so we can like see it.
Oh, the bar. Oh, you wanted the wrapper.
No, the bar. I want to see the chocolate and
Yum.
the cherry almond. The bar,
No.
like, up there so we can like see it.
Oh, the bar.
I want to have a virtual bite.
Oh my God. I'm going to revisit this later.
Oh my
Because I don't want to chew in everybody's face this whole time. But wow, is that good?
Unless you're like our friend Luke from Luke and the Lovingtons, who actually just showed up here. He and Benjamin just showed up, and he is somebody who he said that before, he was traveling through Europe and went to Paris, and he had no money, so he would go into the bakeries and just smell everything and pretend he was eating them, and he would actually have the experience of feeling full and feeling like he'd eaten 1,000 pastries and croissants. And so I think about him all the time because, you know, I love sweets, and I'm trying to be a good girl and not eat a million things like that a day. So I just envision that I am. So right now I'm just trying to taste it right now, and I'm actually.
And it's not even bad for you.
Hey,
It's
ladies.
really good for you.
Yes, Daniela, speak.
Okay, Michelle wants to know the name of the bar because she says it sounds really yummy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Hello. What a concept.
Oh, it's a beach bar. It's a beach bar. You know why? Because it's from Beachbody. So for sure it's a Beachbody bar. It's called Beach Bar. And this flavor is chocolate cherry almond. And it's crunchy and it's chewy as it promises. So delicious. I want to eat the rest of it, but I'm not going to be rude and eat in front of all of you.
But you have to tell her to not be rude and send me some because, you know, I have to make sure I
yours
like
got eaten.
Yes, exactly. And this time I promise I'll be the only one that eats it.
And you had the other flavor, which was there's like a peanut butter and coconut or something like that.
Oh, don't even talk to me about that.
Anyway, that's what her house guest had. And I'm giving the Beach Bar the big thumbs up.
Okay.
Very cool. Hey, Teresa. Thank you for joining. Alicia, hi. Let's see.
I wish I could see, but I'm not seeing who's. I'm not seeing all of the things.
I see Michelle
I
go.
see a little happy face from Eddie, and Eddie, thanks for watching. Good to see you guys there. We're going to try to say hello to all of you, and if we don't say it, please let us know. Let us know. Say hey. Talk to
my
you.
goodness.
Yes, send us your dreams, leave us your comments. And Kelly, I think you can actually change the speaker view by clicking in the top right-hand corner where it says
It's all a
speaker
technical difficulty.
On Facebook or on Zoom?
on Zoom.
Okay.
I have a dream here that you sent me, Kelly, that somebody sent to you out of the magazine, First for Women, or is this one of the regular ones? I'm not even sure.
Oh, yeah. Wow. It's like I am just a little crippled here. Like it's hard for me to go into Zoom and be here at the same time. I think I'm meant to be here now. But oh wait, I see one.
Always.
You see, I see it's on gallery view right now, which should have both of us at the same time. Active speaker is not the view that we want. Did that change anything? What I just did?
Not on my end, but it's weird because I'm not even seeing any other comments or anything. So I'm not sure.
You only see them on Facebook. Oh well, c'est la vie. So let's just start with maybe you should say one more thing about the bar while I get the newest magazine. I'll be back. So
okay, excellent.
Talk about
maybe I'll just have another bite. It's so good, Jen. Oh gosh, I should have tagged her and said, "Watch this." But I'm going to tell her later. Oh my God! I feel like I'm eating a brownie, but with a little bit of more crunch. Oh.
okay.
Oh,
Are you still
sorry.
there?
Oh yeah, I'm eating.
You're just eating. Oh my God. Okay, so
I'm a real entertainment factory when you leave.
oh my God. Okay, so this issue of First for Women is this is like the bathing suit issue. This has got Denise Austin on the cover. Speaking of Beachbody, holy Lord, this woman just looks amazing. And this issue is like 1,000 pages longer than the normal one. So Where is my thing? I do not know. It's in here somewhere. I promise you. And I think one of the dreams, Nancy, we talked about them before. Which is the one that you like?
I really want to hear about that ball of light.
Oh, yeah.
That
Okay.
just, I mean, I'm excited and I feel like there could be nothing but good things about that one.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see if I can find the actual thing so we can give the woman credit. But in a nutshell, she's dreaming about being in bed. Okay. Well, it's in here somewhere, I swear.
It'll come to you.
It will.
She's in bed.
I'm just so annoying right now. Oh, here we go. Okay. She's in bed. Here it is. Unlock the power of your dreams. Hello. There's a woman who's frantically trimming shrubbery in her dream in her front yard to no avail. She's obsessed.
That's a nightmare.
There's another woman who dreams of paying for something at the grocery store, and the clerk makes an announcement to the entire grocery store that this woman's money is fake. And then there's another dream about crowded fish in a fish tank, and another one about someone having a crush on their first love. And then there's another one about a ball of light. So,
Ball of light, ball of light.
so basically the ball of light lands on her, on the foot of her bed. And her question is about, actually this one, I lied. It's not in the current issue. It's in the one that's coming out next. But c'est la vie. First for women, hashtag first for women.
I'm sorry, that's the one I was so interested in. I'm interested in all the dreams, but a ball of light.
A ball of light. So her question is it even a dream? Or is it like an actual happening? And so I address both. I always think that we should address the literal and then the metaphysical aspect of any dream. So if it were my dream and if I had this, I would think on the oh, here comes Priya. Priya wants to weigh in. Come here, Pri. I would think a ball of light is like an angel. It's like a being. It's like it could be a departed loved one. It could be my higher self. Either way, light usually bodes well. Say hello, Priya. Priya wants to say something about a ball of light because she is a little ball of light. Say hi, Priya. Okay, there you go. Priya is really the dream expert. I'm just channeling Priya whenever I talk about dreams. Right, Priya. So I said either way, she describes it as this wonderful feeling. It's not just a visual thing, but it's a feeling that gives her hope and gives her a sense of peace and gives her a sense of joy. And to me, those dreams are more about marinating in the feeling, letting them permeate your bones, your cells, your marrow, your thoughts, so that it changes you. Those are the kind of dreams I think of. That quote from Charlotte Bronte, I have dreamt in my life dreams that have gone through and through me. They've gone through me like wine through water, and they've altered the color of my mind. So that's what I think about a dream like this. Let it color the fabric of your mind. So
that's beautiful. What a great quote. How perfect.
Have you ever, isn't that good? And I'm not exactly getting it perfectly, but
it's perfect to me. That was great.
I love that phrase, like wine through water. It's almost like these are the days of our lives. Let it run.
Maybe it's from your Catholic upbringing when they turn water into wine.
Yes.
Maybe that's why there's a positive connection to those two things.
Like wine. Maybe it just makes me want to drink a glass of wine. It's the middle of the day. It's 5 o'clock.
The day for it.
Right. Today would be the day for it. And I won't say why, because I don't want to use this platform to make negative comments about different companies that deserve
that end with an A.
Let's just say that at some point I might just say screw it. I'm just gonna let it rip. Okay. So anything pop for you about that dream, or should we?
Only one other thing is I always think about when you take a picture and you see an orb in it.
Yeah.
And they always say those are your angels or your people who have gone before you in it. So there was no way to me that this dream could be anything but a positive thing. It's interesting that she asked about it. I wonder how she felt. You want to have a conversation with the person, but
exactly. I felt like it was more like it wasn't so much that she was asking me. It was more like she was wanting to share it.
Yeah, because how beautiful. I mean, we would have a whole different feeling if this was a ball of fire sitting on the edge of the or, you know, a bowl of lava. But it was light, and that always signifies good in my world. I'm going with it.
I just want to say hello to Darcy Barker Harris. Hey, Kelly, blessed be. Thank you so much. You're just a ball of light yourself. Okay, so what's one of the other dreams that we got sent, Nancy, that you want to talk about? And then we'll talk about
right
some
here, and it was it's about alligators.
Oh.
So here, this is what she said. She said, "My dreams are always about alligators or snakes. A couple of nights ago, I dreamed some situation I was in where I was walking my dog, and all of a sudden there was an alligator and then another. We ran, but they were everywhere. I finally somehow climbed up a wooden pole and held onto my dog. I cried out and nothing. It kept getting darker and darker. Then finally a man heard my cries, and I promised to pay him $10,000, which I did not have, but would pay him the rest of my life. And I could hold on no more, and I myself fell upside down, holding on only by my legs. Now, other times someone tells me to let go, or I'm not sure if someone's really there, and I'm afraid because I don't believe they're real. And she says, my thoughts are my insecurity in life and that I've clawed and scratched to stay afloat. Thanks for any insight you might shed on this dream." Wow.
Oh my.
What a dream. Yeah.
That is quite a dream. Okay, so to me, one of the things I do when I listen to dreams, I just kind of feel the energy of the dream, and I notice what pops or what like really stands out. And what stands out to me is, first of all, the visual of an alligator, and then juxtaposed to my dog. She's got a dog on a leash because she's walking the dog. So if it's my dream, there's this alligator that's a predator that's trying to like eat me and or my dog. And so in a nutshell, I'm always looking for like, what part of me is this? What part of me is that? So there's some predator aspect of self, or some cold-blooded aspect of either myself or just of self. And then there's this, my dog, because I love my dogs. My dogs to me represent, they're kind of like a child aspect. They're innocent, they're playful, they're fun, they're so sweet, and they're like red-blooded versus the cold-blooded alligator. So I might wonder if there's some kind of situation that I'm being, it's like usually the alligator represents, it's like one of the clearest symbols of the shadow there is. Like almost nothing says shadow more than an alligator. And often the shadow, and the shadow aspect, Carl Jung says, is the part of ourselves that we disown, the part of ourselves we don't like, part of ourselves that we try to pretend isn't there, but we shove it away, and what is repressed must express. And often the place where it expresses most is in dreams. And it's better that it expresses in a dream than in waking life, because if our alligator self popped out in waking life, it might be dangerous. It might not be fun. It might not be cute. My alligator self almost popped out today, but I kept it under wraps. I called Nancy and went, "Ah!" And so I didn't have to act on it. So I have a feeling that this person, what's her name? Does she have a name?
Let's see. It says Jeanette.
Jeanette. I have a feeling that Jeanette is probably somebody that identifies as a warm-blooded, warm, kind, loving people, more like the dog. That's what she's walking. That's what she's displaying. It's what she's proud of. She's parading around. And the alligator is the aspect of her that she said, I'm not that. It ain't me. I'm not cold-blooded. I don't have a temper. I would never be mean or angry, but it's a part of her power that maybe she's disowned. And the alligator might seem to be coming in to destroy her and her dog. But I think more often than not, these parts of ourselves are coming in. I would even say all the time, not more often than not, all the time. They're coming in to be acknowledged and say, I want you to walk me too. I want to be a part of your world. Can you put a leash on me and walk me too? So, and then there's something about the $10,000 to help her. $10,000, that's a lot. It's like the price that we pay to keep this part suppressed or to keep them separate because we don't know that they're coming, that this alligator part is coming in to be embraced. So those are some of the pieces I'm getting. Oh, I hear somebody knocking. I think Benjamin might be here again to join us.
Oh my
I'm
God.
not sure, but we'll see. So what do you think? What would you feel or think if you had a dream about an alligator that was like threatening you?
I've had so many dreams, a lot of dreams about animals coming after me. And
Yes, you do. It
I
keeps
do
happening.
a lot.
I'm detecting a theme here, not just with you, but with me, with everyone.
With everyone. And I think, you know, the idea that an animal doesn't speak, for me, it's always been animals don't talk, so I'm just a little bit leery. I don't really know what they're thinking. I want to know, but I'm not sure. And what if I'm interpreting it wrong? And so that's what it is for me. But what I've noticed is she has her dog with her, and she gets to a point where even she has to let go, and she's hanging on by her legs and everything, but there's no mention of anything happening to that dog. It's like the dog stays safe the entire time. And there's a part of me that thinks that, you know,
Oops, there's a little, I think we're getting two audios all of a sudden.
We're getting another audio. Oh, okay. Anyway, what I was saying is that I just think because that dog's staying safe, there's a part of her that has this innate knowledge that she's always safe, no matter what, no matter how crazy things get, no matter what she feels she has to claw, as she puts it. So I'm just going from her own words and what she says. But that's what I would take away from it. And it's what a dream. Those dreams with animals always scare the you know what out of me. Every time. But I love that she came up, she's like $10,000 and I'm gonna be paying on it for the rest of my life, but I'm making this happen. Like I'm a mover, I'm a shaker, I'm making it happen. I don't know. I'm like you. I look at it, everything is positive.
I just wonder what would happen, you know, if we all, like everyone who's listening in or watching, and Denise, I see you. I'm going to address you in just a pimento. I wonder what would happen if we truly made an intent to go after the shadows in our dream, to integrate them, and we stopped being scared of them. If we could just retrain our brains, even our dreaming brains, to see these shadow characters as an ally, as an important part of our power that's just simply trying to come in. I had a conversation with a friend recently who has recently come into a lot of her, let's just call it her light, a lot of her kind of psychic abilities and power. And it's kind of like she went from, on a scale of 1 to 10, being like operating at maybe a 3 or a 4 to all of a sudden operating at like a 9. And it's a challenge for her because it's like the fire hose has been turned on and she doesn't know where the off switch is or doesn't know how to modulate it. It's just full on. And she doesn't wish it away. She's happy that she has it. And yet it's like there's a price to pay for coming into your power. It's a lot to manage. And if we don't know how, we will let it run through us and over us, and kind of, it's like we have to learn how to manage our power. Carolyn Mays said, the meaning of life, the purpose of life is to manage our power. But the challenge is that most of us don't think we have any power. We relate to ourselves as these little teeny wispy, flimsy creatures that are just barely eking through life, when really we are astronomically powerful. We just don't know how to manage it. So we've said, no, I'm just little. I'm just this cute little thing over here, when really we're this like infinite being, and little by little our dreams are introducing little pieces of it to us so that we can integrate it. And we look at it as like it's a monster, but it's not. It just comes with big alligator teeth because we've suppressed it so long, and it's trying to get our attention. Am I on my soapbox? Yes, I am. Okay.
No, I think you're good. And I think it makes good sense what you're saying. I love it. And that stuff is what helps everybody when they write in their dreams.
I know. So let me see. I'm able to see some of these comments. I know some of them show up, some of them don't. But I see Denise says, it seems like some ability that most are not remembering within themselves. There's so much to learn from our dreams. I don't even consider them dreams anymore. Oh, I just phase? I'm not sure what you mean by I just phase, but I love that you just said that. Yeah, it's like not even, if we can get to the place where we don't even see them as a separate state, it's like it's a part of ourselves. And it's not a strange ability to remember our dreams. It's something that we all can do if we just take a little, it's more of an issue of time. How about you, Nancy? Do you make time in the morning, or do you just remember the ones that come knocking at your door that are so strong they're undeniable?
I try to make time every morning, and then sometimes I forget and I get so frustrated. I had a bad dream last night and woke me up and I was like, ooh, and there was a part of me that really wanted to forget it. And it was a thing with animals. And it was trying to bite me or something. I don't know. I was actively, that one I was actively trying to forget. It's just so weird.
What kind of animal?
What's weird is it was like a bug. It was like it was something to do with trying to like get lice out of somebody in a bathtub, and then the lice was coming after me. It was going to bite me, and I was like, and I don't know. Like I said, I really tried to block it out because it was so disturbing.
Oh.
It woke me up, and I was like trying to get rid of it.
Can I do an if it were my dream?
Sure.
Unless you want to weigh in first on what you think your dream might be about.
No, I don't. I mean, I literally, that one was so icky to me because I have this thing about bugs. So the fact that it was kind of coming after me and stuff, I was just like, I just want to forget this one. I don't want to read into it. I don't want to, but you can tell me about it. I'll let you tell me about it.
Okay. I think of
I don't want to know what you're doing.
I think bugs symbolize, if it's my dream, the things that bug me, the things that irritate me. They're like the little things that just, it's like I'm sweating small stuff. They're little things that have gotten up in my craw. And it's like the bee in my bonnet, it's like in there. And you know that song from South Pacific, I'm gonna wash that man right out of my hair. I just wonder if there's
on his way. Yeah.
Thank you. You should be the one to do the musical interludes, not me. But like wanting to get and if it's in hair, then it's usually connected to our mind, which is connected to our thoughts. So it's like thoughts, little pinche thoughts. Pinche, because I don't speak Spanish, that's not my first language. I feel like it's okay to cuss. I always think it's okay to cuss if it's in a different language, then it doesn't really count.
Oh, for sure it doesn't count.
It doesn't count. So I wonder what that is, and if it were my dream, and I would pause it, and I would get them out of my hair, and then I would ask them as a collective, and maybe have one stand up and speak on behalf of the rest of them. All right, what is it that what are you trying to get from me? Like, are you trying to get my attention, to tell me something, to give me? They're always trying to give a gift of some kind, and I would say they're trying to alert me to what's bugging me so that I can get rid of it and do something constructive about it.
Good one. Hey man, if you can make that positive, you can do anything. Because I was scared.
Hey, and I'll just, last thing before we acknowledge Daniela, I would say the word lice in waking life, ew, gross. But in a dream, it sounds kind of like lies. Lies, 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 yeah, I'm gonna get you. So wondering where there might be something like that that's just bugging me, and then you don't have to say what it would be, but I always think there should be an action plan for every remembered dream, like something that we do to move the energy of the dream forward in our waking life. So those are my 2 cents.
Ooh,
I hear a Daniela.
Daniela?
Yeah, along those lines, Darcy says, exactly, I enjoy my dreams as being an extension of myself to the point of experiencing with all my senses.
Ooh.
We both like that one, Darcy.
Yay, Darcy, we love you. You're our poster child for the day. So she enjoys her dreams as being an extension of herself. Exactly. I don't know why this is so hard for people to grasp, that the characters and creatures in their dream could be a part of themselves. Now they're not.
Oh, no one wants to think that. Oh my God, you see some of the characters in my dreams?
Same here. Hey, I'm the one that dreamt about an albino cyclops lumberjack. So if I
Stop
could,
it.
I did, with like
Oh
an
my gosh.
axe. I accepted that there's an aspect of me that is an albino cyclops lumberjack. So if I could
It's
accept,
also because in the 70s there were always albinos as scary figures on movies, and so it's from your childhood.
definitely. And Dan Brown's Da Vinci Code, the evil one was the albino.
Oh.
We've got nothing against albinos, by the
We
way.
really don't.
No,
I
they're
don't have
all
any friends who are albinos, but I'd like to meet one.
right. I think
Why
they're all
not? I'd like
a
to
part
meet
of us.
all the peoples.
All the people. So
Yeah.
should we? I know
We
we've got
should
some more.
switch over to some relationships.
Exactly.
stuff.
Let's talk about
do it.
some. So I know one of the questions that came to me for you, Nancy, was about, it's kind of similar to the relationship issue that we talked about last time, but it's a little bit different. This one was about a woman in a relationship, still yet a new relationship, with a man with a beautiful ex-girlfriend, and he feels the need, for whatever reason, to continuously mention how beautiful his ex-girlfriend still is.
Oh.
And
Oh.
and the person who called in, let's call her, we called last time the one Madam X, we'll call her Madam Y. She's
Yeah, because she's got the big question. Why?
Why does
She
he
is
feel
Madam
the-
One.
So why, so in a way, this is kind of, we can open this and make this an even more general question. Why do men, and maybe some women do this too, why do we feel the need to talk about an ex in a favorable way, like he was so hot or she was so gorgeous? Like what, you do your 2 cents, Nancy. What do you think
Okay.
let's say, what should she say to her boyfriend to get him to zip it and keep it with his inside voice and not his outside voice about how gorgeous his ex is?
Well, first I want to talk to her directly about her feelings, because I can imagine you hear this and all sorts of things go through your mind. Does he still want her? Does he think she's more beautiful than I am? If he's so into her, is he just preparing me for leaving? Or there's a lot of insecurities that can come from someone expressing how beautiful someone else is. But as I always go back to the 4 agreements, everything we do is about us. So he's doing this. This is about him. And how could that be? How could this, him talking about her, be about him? And I have some theories there. And one of them is, sometimes we need, especially when we think we're in a situation where maybe we're working with someone who's out of our league. And that meaning, why? That she's so out of his league that he wants to say, hey, I've had some other pretty girls. I can actually do this. I can actually hang, this is something I've done. And that there's, it's an insecurity in him that, she's so beautiful. So it's hard to, while you hear about the ex being so beautiful, how can you possibly be somehow a reflection on you being beautiful? But really, I think that's what that's about. I think that, why else would he say that? Or is he trying to send you the message that she was beautiful, we're really close, we get along, we're good friends, or whatever that relationship is, and I still want you. And I want you because you're beautiful on a whole different level. And it could be that, which is a very loving reason for saying that. But if I were going to talk to him about it, I think I would just turn it around and say, you talk a lot about your ex and how beautiful she is, and I'm sure she is really beautiful. I wonder how you would feel if I were talking about a man I used to date and saying how beautiful he is. Can you imagine what that might be like? And just see what he thinks, just to open it up without giving any judgment or anything. Because suddenly, if a man hears you talking about another man, that can be like, whoa. But just to hear what he has to say to that, I'd be really curious to see what he would think if he really put himself in your shoes, because I don't think that he is. When he's saying all of that, he's not thinking about your shoes. Sounds like he's thinking about her shoes.
You're the one thinking about her shoes.
But you know, I don't think that he's thinking about that. He's just sharing this with you and feeling like I'm so open and I'm so honest and I have nothing to hide from you. And there's a beauty in that, and you can acknowledge him for that. That, you know, I'm glad you feel so comfortable talking to me, and that you feel secure enough in our relationship that you can say that. It feels a little weird to hear how pretty she is. I think I got the memo. You know, you can say I've heard it. I understand, and I agree. She is beautiful. I don't know if it's something I want to hear every single day, and just be honest with them, but just something gentle. I don't know if you have to be accusatory or anything, because I do think this is about him, like I think everything else is. Him saying this is about him. It's not about you. It's not even about her.
I want to throw in my 2 cents, and then I know that we've got some comments going on, and we'll address those in a second. My thought, I mean, I ditto everything you just said. It seems like it's a blind spot of his. It would be a blind spot of a woman to go on about the ex. It feels like it's a way of flattering the ego. It's because the ego is feeling flimsy. The person doesn't realize that there's enough of who they are that's gold and solid enough that they don't need to have the accoutrements. It's kind of like name dropping or saying, oh, by the way, did I tell you about the time that I did this? It's kind of like, it's some kind of ego flattery, because the guy, I think, maybe on some level doesn't realize how amazing he is. And it is definitely a way of trying to boost up his ego to feel good enough. And because it's coming from a deficiency, there's this blindness around it, because it feels like it's coming from a distorted place. Like if he was truly awake to the beautiful and amazing being that he is, he wouldn't feel the need to have to pump himself up in these extraneous ways. So if she was completely awake, she would hear that what he's saying is, I'm not feeling good enough for you right now, and I'm trying to find an external way to hook your attention so that you can think I'm good enough so that you don't leave me. But the place that it hurts in her, which is why it's bugging her, is the place where she's not feeling good enough. So usually the electric fence of not good enough activates the electric fence of not good enough in the other person. It's kind of like this wonderful ping pong game that's not so wonderful, it feels so yucky. So if she can wake up, I think, and realize that she clearly is the bee's knees, because she's the one that he has claimed as his, and he's not within his ex for a reason. I think people just need to know that talking about your ex, I mean, I do this sometimes, not in a way to boost up my ego, but just if I have a dream about somebody, it's on my mind, and I'll share it with Dana. And every once in a while, he'll give me the look like, I don't feel like hearing this. I'm like, okay.
I can see that.
Because it's one thing to just be transparent and so you're not hiding anything, but it's another to talk about the physical attributes of this ex, like, oh wow, so-and-so had such beautiful eyes, so-and-so had the greatest pecs, so-and-so. It's like, why? We don't need to do it. Okay, let's see what anyone's got to say.
Yeah, do we have any other comments? Because I'm seeing none of the comments, and that bums me out. I want to talk to the people.
I think you can if you go to Facebook and just kind of do a refresh.
I am on Facebook, and maybe I'll refresh.
So I see Denise says, the universe knows of your actions. It's knowing where neg is coming from and understanding this. I don't know what you mean by
negativity.
Okay,
yeah.
This is where forgiveness comes from. Yeah, very good. Short words. These ladies know, not my show. Hey, it is your show. It's our show. It's everything. It's Facebook.
Oh, it's everybody's show.
It's for all of us. So knowing where his negativity is coming from, knowing where his pain is, and knowing that anybody that is, I think anytime anybody does or says anything that hurts your feelings, know that it's like, read the subtitles. I said or did this thing because I was feeling inadequate, not good enough. and I'm trying to make you think I'm good enough. That's why I'm saying these things. So if you cannot listen to what the mouth is saying, but kind of read between the lines, that's what I think. We got to be better at reading between the lines. What do you think,
Yeah.
Nancy?
It's so very easy to take everything personally and to think it's always about you and it's always something negative about you. And very often, really all the time, I always find that it's about the other person. And so it's hard because if Madam White herself is a beautiful woman, and then he's talking about how beautiful the other one is, she could start to think, aren't I enough? Aren't I enough? It's just so common that we do that to ourselves. And if she can get off that cycle of self-destruction, that would be great.
Right. But I think it's good to bring up the
It's not
conversation.
real.
I think we don't have these important conversations because we don't know how. We're afraid that we're going to unleash the beast and we're going to kill somebody, which we don't want to do. So we just implode and then kill ourselves.
We don't need to do that. Yeah, I mean, we can't. And like I said, a lot of times with men, what really works is just to ask a question and be quiet and listen to what they say. So you can just ask. Sometimes it's just well, why do you do that? I'm just wondering.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to hear what you have to
Nancy.
say.
Nancy, Darcy totally agrees with you because she says he may not feel he is not worthy of you.
Right. Yeah. That's right, Darcy.
Right, Darcy.
I look at all of this as if you're talking about some gorgeous woman you've been with. While you're with a gorgeous woman, clearly you're feeling like you're not enough. I mean, I'm with Darcy totally on that. Thanks for saying something, Darcy. And I can't read your comments myself, and I'm even connected to Facebook right here, but I appreciate it. We had another, didn't we have another one? Daniela, you said you had a question from one of your friends.
Yeah, so my friend Diego, he is very insecure. He overanalyzes talking to women. Just even the act of going up to say something, he thinks it through all the way. What will she say? How do I behave around her? If she says no, what do? I need to make sure I don't fidget. So really, it's just how can he get out of that bubble?
Okay, Nancy, you go first and then I'll go.
Okay. Diego, one thing I have to say is it takes such bravery to go up to anybody and show that you have some sort of interest other than a hello, good morning. And so I applaud you for any time that you have been able to do it, but I understand completely why it's difficult because not every girl is sweet about it. Some girls are interested and they make eye contact and they're all sweet and loving, and some girls are like, next, and you never know what you're going up against. So I get it. I get why you're worried. I get why this brings you angst, and I get why you second guess yourself. Now, with that said, me understanding, if you've ever talked to a girl and she's not been nice to you, if that's ever happened in your life, you know that at the end of the day, you're still alive and you get through it. And so this thing that you're worried about, this thing that you fear most is not on death. It's not something that's going to cause death or total injury, but you're worried about your feelings and you're worried about it not going well. The thing about it is you have this beautiful self, you have this beautiful soul inside you. And if you are second guessing it all the time, it doesn't get to express itself. So in doing that, it's obviously it hurts you most to not approach and to not allow, but it hurts you on a deep level to ignore and to second guess and to question and to wonder. And so my suggestion with girls is you don't have to, just like if you're talking to one of your male friends, and just like you're talking to the person at the grocery store, and just like you're talking to the person when you go to get your driver's license or anywhere you go, you do these conversations all the time. And women are people too, just like all those other people. So all of those other successful conversations is proof that you can use your mouth and you can do things, and you've done it. So you've already done it. Now you just have to make sure that it's a girl. I mean, because that's what you seem to like is girls, and and you do it again. And so what I'm saying is you already have experience at it. you just think that somehow they won't like you. And I'm not sure why you think that. I wish I could see your face and talk to you, but I bet you I could tell you millions of reasons why that's not true. But we all are very critical of ourselves. We all are. And we all look in the mirror and see things like, "Ooh, I would change that, and that's not good, and this is too fat, and that's too ugly," and this. We do that to ourselves. But I think the very fact that you care so much about putting your best foot forward says what a good person you are, and what a good heart you have. And when you have that, and you're talking to women, you are like gold. You're gold. I mean, this is what we want: are men that have insight and good, feelings of and care and concern, and you've already shown that you have that. So you're kind of what we're looking for. Just here to tell you that. Kelly, what do you have to say? I know I have a million more things I would say to this guy, and I wish I had him sitting right in front of me. I would change his whole life.
Should have the book to Diego. It's such a rich question. I remember a long time ago somebody saying that if you're asking somebody for something and you can't treat it like it's a piece of gum, then you shouldn't ask them. Like if you're in the state of mind that if they answer positively or negatively, it's going to make or break you, then you're not ready to ask the question. You need to get into it. So ideally you wouldn't ask somebody out. You wouldn't ask somebody to dance. You wouldn't, if it wasn't like, "Hey, can I have a piece of gum?" "No." "Oh, that's okay." Or "Yes." "Cool. Yay." So anything less than that means that somehow your inner orientation is askew. So in an ideal world, if it was Diego's dream was my dream, I would think somehow I see this person outside of me, this woman, as being beautiful or whatever, and it's all things that I don't have. And if I had her in my life, I would be better. And without her, I'm less than. And that right there is a skewed premise. And my dogs are going wild, so I'll take that as an affirmation. They're all barking, I think, because there's another dog outside trying to ask for a piece of gum. So
and that's all they want, just a piece of gum.
I would say, first of all, he needs to have like a moment of like a reckoning where he gets spiritually connected to his source, where he knows that he is the bomb. He knows that he is connected with God, that he is a one of a kind, spectacular phenomenon, unrepeatable, that he's perfect, whole, and complete. And there's nothing and no one outside of himself that can make him any more magnificent than he already is. At best, the most gorgeous, wonderful woman in the world could be icing on his cake. It's not going to give him a cake. It's going to just ice that cake. It's not anything more than that. And if he gets into that alignment and he feels good about himself, then he can extend himself. And maybe, I think humor is a great way to approach, or this is why I think people that connect when they're doing something where they have a mutual interest, whether it be at a concert or gardening or in some service project where you're doing something that you have a genuine passion for, and you happen to meet somebody in that situation, then you can have a conversation that is about the thing that you're doing, so it's not so direct, and then you can warm up. But if you're just like at a bar and you see a gorgeous person, you're addressing them because they're hot, and it's usually on the level of the physical. And on the level of the physical, you're dealing with cave woman, caveman issues that are usually our lower common denominator. And I have a feeling, as Nancy said, I ditto what Nancy said about, my feeling is that Diego is an awesome dude, and he must be if he's a friend of Daniela's. So he probably needs to approach somebody that he's in the midst of doing something that he's awesome at, or that he's interested in, or that he's passionate about, not just cold calling some woman just simply because she's hot. Okay, that's my take.
Daniela, what do you think?
Yeah, knowing.
No, I agree with both of you. I think that's it. I think it's kind of, I mean, it's all based on fear, and it's leaving that behind a little bit and just taking the hit. And the worst thing that can happen is, okay, she says no, and you move on. I mean, that's it. And I think for him, that's the devastating point, the getting the no and the rejection. And, and we all go through that, those feelings of, hey, what if this person doesn't like me, or what if they say no, and I'm over here, wearing my heart on my sleeve.
Right.
What I want him to understand is we all go through that. It's not just you. We've all gone through it. So you're not alone.
And he's your friend too. So you're a girl and he's used to talking to you. So
exactly.
He's making these girls be some ideal beyond, they're as much girl as you are. You know what I mean? And he's done that. So I keep wanting to just let him know that he's already done it. Now he just has to realize that, oh yeah, I do know how to do that. Because you're second guessing yourself all the time, always thinking you don't know how to do something. You find out, oh, wait a minute, I've been riding this bike for 16 miles. I do know how to ride a bike. I can stop pretending like I don't know how to pedal because he knows. He's been doing it.
Yeah. And I think the energy, usually it's the masculine energy within us, whether it's a man or a woman, that makes the approach. And like Nancy said, it takes guts. It takes so much guts. And I don't know. I think I used to always say if I was a guy and a heterosexual, I would be the loneliest guy in town because I would be terrified. Nobody wants rejection. I hate rejection. It's not fun. But I think one way to minimize rejection is to have a warm connection already. So, and whatever you're asking or wanting, it's all in the flow. I always think back to Felix Wolf's book, and I have to bring up at least one book every time Nancy and I have a conversation. It just is like my Tourette's. Felix Wolf's book called The Art of Navigation. It's really his life story, and at the end of the book, it's about kind of the how-to, but it's about how to be in the flow. And when you're in the flow, when you're really feeling the guidance of the universe and you're in that sweet spot, then you're not going to get any no's. You're going to be led in the right direction at the right time to the right people, and you'll be inspired to say the right words. You don't have to think about it. It's probably the worst thing to do is to think about it. Really think about it. I would say move your head aside into the passenger. You don't want to decapitate yourself. Just don't let your head and your mind and your thoughts do the driving. Let the flow happen. Let it be more organic. And that's what I have to say. So we've been doing this for quite a while right now.
I think I want to finish my bar. Let's move on, baby.
All right. So I think I want to acknowledge Dennis. I was saying Denise before. Dennis. Hi, Dennis. And Dennis is saying some really, really cool stuff today. And Darcy and all the rest I can't see because it doesn't show up on my feed until later. But I want to acknowledge everyone else for acknowledging. Is there anybody else, Daniela, that you think we should say a shout out or a hello to?
Yeah, we've got Hunter, Michelle, Teresa, Matthew Walden.
Walden?
Ah, we know
Is that a Walden?
Walden on here.
Are you related to me? Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I think for now, so one last time, Nancy, we're doing a shout out for this Beach Body Bar or Beach Bar.
It's called a Beach Bar, and it's a chocolate cherry almond, and I cannot recommend it enough. In fact, as soon as this is done, I'm wolfing it down.
And
yes, and I've posted the link to where you can purchase those bars for anyone.
Nice. Thank you, Daniela.
Thank you, Daniela. And thank you again, Daniela, for helping us behind the scenes and being so awesome and sharing your friend Diego with us. And we love him. And
thanks to everyone for watching too. And we're gonna look at your comments later and we'll respond to them on later. I don't know why I can't see them live. Darn it.
We're just getting all our technology together. And also I think we just should continue to shout out the fact that people could go to Chime In if they want to chime in about our program in Guatemala. Oh my goodness. I'm just going to say something. Dana just found out these statistics. People keep asking me about why are we so into Guatemala. Like there's so many places in the world that need help. Why Guatemala? And one reason we say is, well, the art of navigation has led us to it. The right people, place, time, having the ambassador of tourism being a personal mentor and friend, a former ambassador of tourism. Now her company is EBLA, Empowering Business Latin America, Mildred Espinosa and Rolando Mancia. They've been angels in our world helping us. But we just found out, okay, so here's some statistics. The population 59.3% of the population of Guatemala live below the poverty line. And almost half of Guatemalan children under age 5 are chronically malnourished. They have one of the highest malnutrition rates in the world. And I think we see more than half of them live in poverty, and 23% live in extreme poverty. That means that they live on less than $1.25 a day. So
because poverty here is something different than what theirs is. Our poverty could be if you make $16,000 a year or something. They would be in hog heaven with $16,000 a year.
Right.
It's different than what we call poverty.
Right. And so we, on our most recent journey to Guatemala, and you can see some of our pictures of the volcano and Antigua, we got to experience some of the richness of Guatemala. It is a rich culture. Like it's so vibrant with the colors and all the different there's so many different Mayan subcultures. There's like 44 different languages within the Mayan culture. I mean, it's like they're rich in their history and rich in their art. And yet there's this, I think it's just for whatever reason, corruption in the government, whatever it is. But the kids, it's not their fault. And these kids deserve a break, and they deserve an education, because education is one of the most obvious ways to break the cycle of poverty. So if it were my dream, everyone would participate, everyone would chime in. We'd all do a little something. That way we don't have to feel guilty about it. I think that doing a little something takes the guilt away and even takes the denial away. We don't have to be guilty, or we don't have to go into denial. We can do a little something. That's why we call our organization Chime In. Everybody can chime in. Even just a little something can make a huge difference.
And you just click on the donate button once you go to chimein.org, donate, and you can donate however much you want. But it does feel good to help these people. And I've always been remarked that the people in Guatemala, aren't they all wonderful?
Oh my God.
I mean, every single person, I haven't met one that I didn't like. I loved every person there. And
not a bad apple in the bunch.
Not a bad apple in the bunch. Just
oh my
wonderful,
goodness.
Sweet people.
Kind.
And they all know about their government and their country.
Yeah.
It blows my mind. I mean, of course, we had a wonderful tour guide who knew everything. Norman, he knew everything. Norman, oh, I love him. But even if it weren't Norman, you could talk to any one of the people with us and they knew a lot about the country. And we don't know as much about our own, where we live.
Yeah.
We don't know the same amount of statistics. And there's something about this love that they have for where they live, even though maybe where they live hasn't been so good to them. It's what our eyes would think. And
Right.
They're
awesome.
Absolutely.
So chime in, peeps. Chime in on chimein.org and donate if you want to, and chime in here on Facebook and let us know what you're dreaming about, or what your relationship challenges. Maybe we can keep you your identity hush hush if you want, but share with us. And let's, I feel like I'm on a mission, even more so, Nancy. The more often we do this, the more these animal dreams, shadow dreams keep coming up. I feel like it's time that we are coming into our power, and these dreams are helping us to do it in the strangest way, whether they be big, scary animals, or slithery, snaky animals, or alligators, or even little bugs.
Or maybe your next dream book is about the animals in our lives and our dreams.
Oh my.
And all just about all animals and all dreams, people. I could give you 20 just about all kinds of different animals, and it's not always the same one.
Holy guacamole, Batman. Okay, so until we meet again, and I think we're going to do this next week at the same time. So Wednesday at around noonish.
We'll say noon 15. Noon 15.
Noon 15-ish, right around there. That's our sweet spot.
At 3:15 in Eastern time zone.
There we go. There. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that up. So
Yeah.
until we meet again, don't take your dreams lying down, and namaste and namaste.